Good evening. I'm Councillor Julie Hart and I'm Crawley's Mayor and will be chairing the start of this meeting. I would like to welcome you to the annual meeting of the full council, and I would also like to welcome our new councillors to the council. They are Olu Adunayi, Esther Barrett, Thomas Bidwell, Shelley Bushnell, Nick Hilton, Dipesh Patel, Dominic Ramsey and Benny Yarni. I acknowledge the sad passing of former Mayor and Councillor Bill Ward. The Council will be holding a minute's silence in memory of Bill at the next formal full Council meeting on Wednesday the 17th of July 2024. At that meeting there will be an opportunity for my fellow councillors to pay tribute to their former colleague. There are no scheduled fire drills tonight. In the event of a fire alarm sounding, please leave the building via the main spiral staircase and through the main entrance doors and reception. Once outside, turn left and make your way to the fire assembly point located beyond the multi-storey car park on Exchange Road. If you are unable to use the stairs, please wait in the chamber and you will be guided by a member of staff to the evacuation lift. You should be aware that the Council is the data controller under the Data Protection Act. Data collected during the webcast will be retained in accordance with the Council's published retention policy. Any members of the public seated in the public gallery may be captured by the automated camera system and your image may be recorded. Therefore, by entering the meeting room, you are consenting to being recorded and to the possible use of those images and sound recordings for webcasting and/or training purposes. Members are reminded to have a look at what is being displayed on the TV screens in the room, as this is what is being recorded. It is best that members remain seated when speaking, as the cameras are set to capture you in your seated positions. However, if you do stand, please check the TV screen to ensure that your head has been captured. Please do not move the microphones too close to you. You can request to speak by pressing the button with the face on it and the microphone light will go blue. The order of speakers will be controlled by Democratic Services. The microphone lights will go green when you are live. Members have received an electronic copy of the paperwork relevant for this meeting. The public agenda for this meeting is available on the Council's website. We will now start the agenda. Are there any apologies for absence?
Councillor Miller-Smith. Councillor Ramsey. Any others?
Councillor?
Yeah. Can I? Yeah. Thank you. It's my wife, Sue Mullins. She's not very well, so she really can't. She's very disappointed not to be here tonight, but she can't make it. Yeah.
Are there any interests councillors wish to declare? No? I'm now going to give you a very brief resume of my past year. As I said last year, what a year it's been. Only the third mayor in Crawley's history to do a second consecutive year. This past year has been a more normal year, if being mayor of Crawley is ever normal. Certainly for me, it's been one of the most privileged times of my life, meeting and interacting with so many of the residents of Crawley. We've celebrated birthdays, 50 years of the town twinning with Dawston, the 50th anniversary of the Ifield Barn Theatre, and the 70th anniversary of the Crawley Horticultural Society. There were also visits to many and various communities of Crawley, celebrating the diversity and inclusivity within the town. I have thank yous to make. Thank you for putting your trust in me for a second time. Thank you for supporting me. My very special thanks go to Hayley, a great support, advisor and general keeper of the diary. And if Hayley could come up, I'd appreciate it. Is she here? Okay, thank you. Yeah, I'm nearly there. She's run away. All right.
Come on, Liz.
Okay, we'll wait for Hayley. I would also want to say thank you to the Crawley Armed Forces Veterans Breakfast Club, my charity for the year. We've had some wonderful times together, raising money for the veterans of Crawley. And thank you to each and every one of the residents who, for every penny that they have donated. And I would now like to call the veterans, the representatives up to receive their cheque. (2024-2025). Councillor Jones, I believe you are moving the nominee. The other way.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I am indeed, and I take great pleasure in moving that Councillor Shamila Sivaraja becomes our Mayor of the Borough for the forthcoming civic year. I believe that Councillor Sivaraja has the qualities necessary to be an outstanding Mayor. I've known her for several years now, and I know that she'll be a wonderful advocate for our town. She's been my fellow ward councillor in Bewbush and Broadfield North, and I have enjoyed working with her immensely. Aside from representing her residents in the wards, I'm almost certain that Councillor Sivaraja will be the very first Mayor of Crawley who comes from the Sri Lankan Tamil community, and I know that many of the local Tamil community are very pleased at this news, and I was delighted to learn that they were pleased. I can still remember their great pride and joy when we joined them with them at an event at the Langley Green Centre following Councillor Sivaraja's first election as a councillor at what was a wonderful occasion. And she's been an important source of support to some of the members of the community in interpreting and helping them with public services. In her working life, Councillor Sivaraja also runs a successful school transport business, ensuring that many of our young people reach the schools across the area and getting them there to receive the particular education they need. Councillor Sivaraja moved to Crawley 20 years ago and has raised a young family here. She has 2 daughters and a son, all born at East Surrey Hospital. I wish her family great joy and happiness on this special day, and also for the forthcoming year, which I know will be a memorable one for her. I wish Jay, Shimila's husband, particular happiness as he accompanies Shimila to see the whole range of events, groups and people which make Crawley the great place it is to live. I know from other former mayors I've spoken to what a deeply rewarding and uplifting experience it is being mayor of our borough. You get to see Crawley at its very best. It's very rare that I get the honour to nominate our next mayor, Madam Mayor, but I do so with the greatest of pleasure and enthusiasm. Through you, Shamila, you have approached your role as councillor with a pleasant and positive attitude that has benefited this council a great deal. We believe on this side of the chamber the time is right now for you to be this council's civic leader and first citizen. I formally move your nomination. Our ward colleague Marion Ayling will soon add to this, I'm delighted to say, and I very much hope everyone can join with us in supporting you. Thank you, Madam Mayor.
Thank you. Councillor Ayling. I believe.
Right. It's my pleasure to second Councillor Sivaraja for Mayor. She has been involved in her community since moving to Crawley in 2004. In 2006, she danced in front of the Queen and Prince Philip during the Crawley's 60th anniversary celebration. She has volunteered at the Crawley Tamil School for the past 15 years as a Tamil teacher. And helped the Tamil community in interpreting and filling out forms for several authorities. Currently, she is a company director for a special needs school transporting children and encourages and promotes ladies from the BAME community to work as taxi drivers. Since becoming a councillor in 2022, she has served on planning, OSC, governance and audit committee. So she has a broad knowledge of the council. She will make an excellent mayor and represent the town positively. It gives me great pleasure to second her for the role of mayor. Thank you.
Are there any further nominations? If not, I will call for a vote. Is that agreed that the Councillor Sivaraja would be elected as Mayor of Crawley for the municipal year 2024-2025, or do you wish for a formal vote? Thank you. Councillor Shamila Sivaraja has been elected as the Mayor of Crawley for 2024-2025. Please can I ask the Chief Executive to place the mayoral chain on Councillor Sivaraja, who will read out and then sign the declaration of acceptance of office.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, my fellow councillors. Having been elected to the office of Mayor of Crawley Borough Council, I, Shamila Sivaraja, declare that I take that office upon myself and will duly and faithfully fulfil the duties of it according to the best of my judgment and ability.
Please get you to sign.
Yes.
Just there.
Okay.
Thank you.
That's it.
Get you to sign. Thank you.
Thank you.
Councillor Nawaz, I believe you were. Councillor Nawaz, I believe you're. Councillor Nawaz, I believe you're wishing to speak.
Thank you. Madam Mayor, Shamila Sivaraja, congratulations on your election and appointment. I have great pleasure in moving great joy and pride to congratulate Councillor Sivaraja on her historic appointment as the first Tamil Mayor of Crawley. This is a momentous occasion, not only for Shamila but for entire community. Mayor Sivaraja, your appointment is a significant milestone that reflects the rich diversity and inclusiveness of our town. Your achievement is an inspiration to many, demonstrating that with determination and passion, anything is possible. Throughout your career, you have been a strong advocate for equality, community engagement, and social justice. Your efforts promoting cultural understanding and unity within Crawley have been exemplary. I can give a few examples, like you've been, as my fellow colleagues have mentioned, helping the community interpreter, first aider in the field of healthcare. You're a Tamil classic dance teacher in a school in Hazelwick, and you have performed in front of our late Her Majesty the Queen and Duke of Edinburgh. So that was a quite in pride, and you met them as well while we were there, and also helping Crawley Cultural Kitchen. There's quite a few, but there's some I would like to mention. As a first Tamil Mayor of Crawley, you bring a unique perspective and a wealth of experience to this role. Your mayorship will undoubtedly strengthen our community and foster a spirit of collaboration and progress. Diversity is our strength, and that by embracing our different backgrounds and cultures, we can build a more vibrant, harmonious society. Your journey to this esteemed position is a source of inspiration for young people, particularly those from minority communities. It sends a powerful message that no dream is too big and no barrier is insurmountable. You have paved that way for future generations to aspire to leadership and contribute meaningfully to our community. Mayor Sivaraja, your appointment is a celebration of the values we hold dear in Crawley. Diversity, inclusiveness, and community. On behalf of everyone here, I extend my heartfelt congratulations and best wishes for your term as mayor. We look forward to supporting you and working together to make Crawley an even better place to live, work, and grow. Thank you. And congratulations once again, Mayor Shamila Sivaraja.
Councillor Lanza.
Yeah. Thank you, Madam Mayor, and congratulations on your appointment, Councillor Sivaraja. And I very much agree with the comments that your appointment is but one indication of the diversity that we embrace within Crawley. It was former Mayor, Councillor Jim Smith, who was Mayor 4 times, in fact, who observed that compared to perhaps some parts of the country, Crawley shows us how it's done. And I think that is very much a fair comment. I would make a few other observations about the work you do beyond the mayoralty and beyond the council as a voluntary language teacher, engaged, I believe, in patient transport as well, and also teaching Indian and classical dance. You will find
as befits Crawley's status, that you have a very large number of invitations within Crawley and beyond, West Sussex as well. And you'll also find that your ward colleague, Councillor Jones, as leader, will get invited to quite a few of them, so you'll see him some of the time in those engagements as well. So on behalf of the Conservative group, we warmly welcome your appointment and wish you a successful and fulfilling mayoral year, which I'm sure you'll enjoy.
Ladies and gentlemen, esteemed councillors, today I stand before you with a heart full of gratitude and humility, as I express my sincere thanks for the honour you have bestowed upon me. It is with great pride and privilege that I stand here today, ready to represent not only our beloved town of Crawley, but also to serve as the voice of our esteemed monarch, the King. I'm deeply honoured and humbled by the trust and confidence you have placed in me. To each and every one of you, my fellow councillors, I extend my heartfelt thanks for your unwavering support and belief in my ability to serve our community. I'm actually aware of the immense privilege and responsibility that comes with representing our town. It is a responsibility that I do not take lightly, and I pledge to serve with integrity, compassion, and dedication. As your mayor, I'm committed to advocating for the needs and interests of all our residents, working tirelessly to ensure that Crawley remains a vibrant and thriving community that we can all be proud to call home. My concern for the coming year will be my husband Jay, and I thank him for supporting me with my forthcoming mayoral year. In addition to my duty as mayor, I'm excited to announce that I will be working closely with the Russell Martin Foundation charity, which is my mayoral charity for the year. As someone who has dedicated their professional life to working with children, I firmly believe that education is the key to unlocking a brighter future. Every child deserves the same opportunity to learn, grow, and succeed, regardless of their circumstances. On behalf of the community, I'm committed to supporting their efforts in any way that I can. In closing, I want to thank you once again for your support and confidence in me. It is truly an honor and privilege to stand before you today as your mayor. And I'm committed to serving our town with utmost dedication and integrity. Together, let us continue to work tirelessly for the betterment of Crawley, ensuring that it remains a beacon of hope and opportunity for generations to come. Thank you. Now, I call for nomination for the office of Deputy Mayor for the municipal year 2024-2025. Councillor Pritchard, I believe you are moving the first nomination.
I'm quite happy to move the nomination. I believed I was seconding it, though. Okay. I would like to move the proposal that Councillor Gilly Hart for the position of Deputy Mayor. During the past 2 years as Mayor, Councillor Hart has been a true flag bearer for the town of Crawley and has demonstrated that when attending events, she promotes the town brilliantly. She has worked hard to attend every function expected of her and has stepped in at short notice on a number of occasions, as can often be the case when you're in the role of Deputy Mayor. During her time as Mayor, she's worked hard for the community. As you will shortly hear from Councillor Yarni, as Councillor for Three Bridges, I will always have fond memories of seeing her in action at the Platinum Jubilee celebrations, even gate crashing a private house party with a number of councillors, we were welcomed in the end, but we were a surprise visitor. In the coronation celebrations, I had the privilege of accompanying her around the town to a number of street parties, and I think she'll be excellent for the role of Deputy Mayor.
Okay. Councillor Charlton, I believe you are the seconder? Or is it Councillor Yarni? Or is it Councillor Yarni?
Actually, it was supposed to be me moving the proposition, but it seemed to have got into a bit of tangled wires. I think Councillor Yarni is seconding, and I will...
No, Councillor Yarni is now doing the vote things.
Who's doing the vote of thanks? I'm seconding and Councillor Yarney's doing the vote of thanks. Okay, so glad we clarified that, yes. Shall I go ahead and... Okay. I certainly second wholeheartedly Councillor Gilly Hart as Deputy Mayor. I think Councillor Pritchard has summarised things very well. I can only say from my perspective as a fellow ward councillor, I've not seen anybody more dedicated to the role and somebody more relishes the role and has such a thorough understanding of it as well. She brings dignity and integrity to the office. She thoroughly understands it. She's somebody who takes the role very seriously. And also as Deputy Mayor, I think, as I say, my experience as a fellow ward councillor, is an excellent team player and will be hugely supportive of our Mayor. And for that reason, above all, I would like to support and second her nomination as Deputy Mayor.
Thank you. We have a second nomination for Crawley's Deputy Mayor. Councillor Crowe, please move your nomination.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. And firstly, may I also congratulate you on your election as our new Mayor of Crawley. I wish to formally propose Councillor Magali for Deputy Mayor, something of which is becoming a bit of a tradition at our annual council meetings. I've lost count, Maureen. Is it the third time I've nominated? Oh, fourth time. So this is the fourth annual meeting that I've been proposing Councillor Magali as Deputy Mayor. And there are two reasons why. First of all, there are the merits of Councillor Magali herself, who has, well, I say only been a member of the council about 4.5 years, though she has been elected 3 times as councillor for Tilgate, and which is longer than the Labour nominee for Deputy Mayor. And Maureen is very much integrated into many parts of Crawley's community. And I don't actually doubt that anybody here has any question marks or doubts about the merits of Councillor Magali and that she would make a very excellent Deputy Mayor for our town. And I'm very hopeful that 1 year she might just get that role. And there's a second strand too. It's not just the qualities of the candidate herself, but there's the point and the principle of fairness. Now, fairness is something that we used to hear about at this council from the now leader. Yeah, I remember the days when a proposed fairness commission was proposed, but fairness only seems to apply if you're not a Conservative. And we are now going into the 11th year in opposition for the Conservative group, and we are still we've taken a big hit in the local elections, but we are still over 30% of this council. And in the 11 years going in opposition, apart from the 1 year where we had equal numbers and we had an arrangement and we had the mayor for 1 year, we've never had a look in at the mayoralty. And that contrasts with when the Conservatives were in administration here in Crawley. Indeed, in our first year in 2006, we had the former leader as the deputy mayor. And indeed, at other councils, Labour and opposition nominees where they had Conservative control have had a look in at the mayoralty, but somehow we are excluded. So there's a principle of fairness as well as the merit of Councillor Magali. So I do hope that members opposite will perhaps find it within themselves to perhaps lend a vote to Councillor Magali. And that's not to take anything away from Councillor Hart, who I will be speaking about as a vote of thanks for being mayor. But I would say, and I think she has been a good mayor, but she has had 2 years as mayor, and Councillor Magali would be very happy and be very good at supporting our new mayor in office. Thank you.
Councillor Jagat, I believe you are the seconder.
Yes, good evening. Yes, I would like to talk a bit about Maureen as well. So Gilly was a very good mayor, and having done 2 years in the role, she's very experienced. She's clearly very experienced. But I think, as Councillor Crowe has said, I think it's only now fair for somebody else to step out into the community in this ceremonial, non-political role of Deputy Mayor. Maureen Magali is well respected across the wider community, working with many charities, both here and abroad. Maureen is currently working with youth groups in Crawley on knife crime, for example. She's well known in our town. I was invited with her to an event for the Ugandan community, and I was very warmly welcomed. And as Councillor Nawaz said earlier, it is the diversity which makes Crawley such a unique, strong place to live. And we should be reflecting that diversity within the mayoralty. And I would urge you, please, to consider Maureen Magali for Deputy Mayor. And I'd like to second that. Thank you.
Are there any other nominations? No. Okay. If not, we will go straight to the vote. Those in favour for Councillor Hart, please raise your hands. Okay. Those in favour of Councillor Mawali, please raise your hands.
Any abstentions?
Any abstentions? No. Yeah.
You have to say you abstain.
I abstain. Right. Councillor Hart has received 23 votes. Councillor Mawali has received 9 votes. Councillor Hart has been elected as Crawley's Deputy Mayor for 2024-2025. You are invited to join me at the dais for your investiture. Having been elected to the office of Deputy Mayor of Crawley Borough Council, I, Julie Hart, declare that I take that office upon myself and will duly and faithfully fulfil the duties of according to the best of my judgment and ability. Okay. On the election of Youth Mayor and the Deputy Youth Mayor 2024-2025, I would like to invite Elijah Norton to receive his chain of office as the elected Youth Mayor. I would also like to invite Kai Atkins to receive his badge of office as the elected Deputy Youth Mayor. On behalf of the Council, I wish to congratulate Elijah and Kai on their election. I look forward to working with them in the year ahead. Do you approve the minutes of the meeting of the full council held on 27th March 2024, which appear on page 5 to 14 in your agenda? The next item on the agenda is the vote of thanks to the outgoing mayoralty. I call upon Councillor Yanni to move the vote of thanks.
Thank you. I'd like to say a few words of thanks to Councillor Hart and Councillor Khan for being our Mayor and Deputy Mayor. I'm told by Councillor Jones that I only have 5 minutes to speak and then Democratic Services will turn off my mic, so I better get on with it. Councillor Hart is one of the very few people who has served as Mayor for 2 years consecutively. When I speak to her achievements, you will understand why. Councillor Hart has attended an incredible number of events in these 2 years and has given huge amounts of her own time towards the role. More specifically, she has attended over 400 events in the past 2 years. That is on average 200 per year. I think this is more days than we ask students to attend a school year. It's clear how seriously the councillor took this role, and we thank her for her commitment. Councillor Hart is passionate about supporting vulnerable people. In her first term, her charity was the Olive Tree, which supports people in Crawley with cancer. She raised £3,500 for this charity. In her second year, as you will have seen earlier, she supported the Veterans Breakfast Club and so far raised £4,500. A particular highlight, and much deserved for all her work, was the invitation from the First Lord of the Admiralty to attend dinner on board the HMS Victory in Portsmouth. This was in recognition of her contributions to our veterans. It is clear how devoted Gilly is to the people of Crawley, and so we thank her for her dedication to supporting these charities. Councillor Hart was also the first Mayor of Crawley to proclaim the new king and announce the death of a sovereign. She brings a profound understanding of the role as the king's representative in Crawley, and she carries out her mayoral duties with dignity and authority. She is an exemplary and even-handed chair of this council, which I'm sure members across the chamber will acknowledge. Now, Gilly, you have told everyone that you've known me since I was a child. The truth is that you and I have not met for a long time. But what I have known, and what is known among my family, is your kindness. You see, for people who don't know, Gilly's son and my brother went to school together. Our mums were friends. And when my fabulous mum was struggling to manage my health as a child, it was Gilly who stepped forward. It was Gilly, in her practical, no-nonsense style, took things into her own hands and helped us. So you see, beyond the commitment to the role, the dedication to her charities, and being a proud representative to the King, it is for this reason that I am proud to have called you Mayor of Crawley. You want to help people. Thank you for your kindness, and thank you for your service. Now, I can't end these thanks without mentioning our feisty deputy, Councillor Kieran Khan. Kieran's highlight as deputy was going to Broadfield Stadium to celebrate Crawley's promotion to League One, which I think unites a lot of us across the chamber. Kieran, thank you for your work. We are grateful to you and we wish you all the success for the future.
Councillor Crowe, I believe you are speaking on behalf of the Conservative group and seconding the vote of thanks.
Yes, thank you, Madam Mayor. Certainly very happy to second the vote of thanks for the outgoing mayoralty on behalf of the Conservative group. There has been no doubt that Councillor Hart has been a very active mayor and has had great enthusiasm for that role. That has certainly shown at the not only the sheer number of functions that she has attended, but also you can tell straight away the enthusiasm she has for every function that she has turned up to. And I don't think anyone can disagree that she has been both a credit to both the role as mayor and to the town in carrying out her duties as mayor. And although, of course, we have just contested the deputy mayor, I do wish her well in her year as deputy mayor as well. As has been said, 2 years as mayor is unusual, and thankfully it has been certainly the second year more normal years, given what the years we had previously at the beginning of the decade. But certainly Councillor Hart has enjoyed the role. We can see that, and she has put so much into it. And I wish, although I did query about whether with the vote of thanks because she was going to become deputy mayor, but I understand that we still do. So I'm very happy to second this vote, and also welcome her for the year ahead as deputy mayor. Thank you.
Are there any other speakers? Councillor Mullins.
Thank you, Mayor. Or should I say Mayoress, or would you prefer that? Madam Mayor, okay. There's times like this, I sort of look around the room and realise that I'm probably the oldest fogey in here. But, and so I did myself do a year as mayor in 2001. And I found myself reflecting back and remembering what the job was like and what I had to do and the things like that. And it was, quite honestly, 24/7. It was hard slog, really. And it was most enjoyable. And I met so many people. And I know that Gilly has done all of these things and more. And that's the important thing. So the commitment to being mayor of Crawley is a big one. And you get to learn so much more about the town than you knew before. You meet so many people and so many people that are running voluntary organisations that you just can't help but have tremendous respect for the job that they do day in and day out as volunteers. And it's a wonderful thing. And it makes you realise what a wonderful town Crawley is and how lucky we are to live here, and what a great job our pioneers like Alf Pegler and Bert Crane and people like that achieved when they built this Garden City town. And it's somewhere to be really proud of. And I know that pride is in Gilly in everything that she did during her term, and that she carried the support for Crawley and wouldn't have anything said against it anywhere in the county. I'm sure she came across the chain gang on her journeys, because I remember the chain gang very well. And I remember getting invited one night to a meal. When I got there, it was an old converted boat that used to carry sewage up and down the Thames. And I thought, we really having, but it was beautifully done. And we went in, there was a jazz band and everything. So wonderful things like that happen. And I know that Gilly would have partaken in those things with great interest and commitment. And I think that she's an example of the best of the mayors that we've had in Crawley. So my personal congratulations to you on your achievement of the past 2 years, and thank you for the job that you did do. It was wonderful, and I'm sure that your experience and your knowledge is going to be very useful to Shamila as you go on through this year.
Councillor Rana.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I just want to say Gilly's a loving person. She's very loving and caring, and we are very proud to have her, having her as a mayor for 2 years. She served the people of Crawley with dedication and related to everyone she met. She does not have any airs or attitude, and she's a very down-to-earth person, and this is one of her very nicest qualities. Being a mayor needs absolute time and commitment, which Gilly lovingly and wholeheartedly gave. She fulfilled all her mayoral duties with passion and perfection, and thus she stayed on for us as a mayor for 2 years. I mean, she's she done Crawley proud. I would like to say a few words about Kieran as well. So I have known Kieran ever since she joined the Labour Party. She's very enthusiastic. She has a spring in her steps, and she's very keen to learn. Since then, she has come a long way. She's not scared to take on any challenges. As a Deputy Mayor, she fulfilled all her obligations well and was a credit to Gilly. Thank you.
I would like to invite Councillor Hart to join the Chief Executive and myself at the front of the dais to receive her past mayor's badge in commemoration of her past 2 years in office. On to the communications. Councillor Johns, you have requested to speak.
Yes, thank you, Madam Mayor. Exceptionally, Madam Mayor, I will remain seated while speaking. We'll get the camera angle sorted out with Democratic Services for next time, as the pose I had to take earlier to remain visible on the camera was not conducive to good debates. But it's not even a week ago yet, Madam Mayor, but given Crawley Town Football Club's outstanding win in the League One playoffs final against Crewe Alexandra last Sunday, I would like to send on behalf of everyone at the council our heartfelt congratulations to all those at the club involved in making Sunday the huge success that it was. Crawley Town has never played at Wembley before, and to see all the terraces decked out in red was a lovely sight to behold. There's no doubt, watching the match, in my opinion, that Crawley was the better team, and the opposition was completely outclassed, and that was reflected in the result. Some might draw parallels elsewhere, Madam Mayor, but Crawley Borough Council is very open to organising a celebration with the football club if they wish to join us, and there have been some discussions. It was a stunning day showing Crawley's magnificent community spirit. I really value that it's brought the whole town together, and it's been a great advertisement for the town as well. So our congratulations once again. Thank you.
Councillor Mullins.
I don't really want to follow Mike there, but I couldn't help but I will sit down if you want. I couldn't help but say something because I went to Wembley, and to see the attendance with the other team was nearly over 30,000 people went to that match. 17,000 or more from Crawley. Crawley people actually followed their team to Wembley. It was a wonderful, wonderful occasion, and the magic in that stadium was mind-blowing. It was electric, and our team was superb. It really was a wonderful result to watch. And I just can't help but feeling, because the reason I felt I want to talk is I'm the portfolio holder that covers the stadium and the football. So I just felt as though I needed to say something to congratulate that team, and we want to do everything we can, I know as a council, to make sure that as they go through and progress through this first division, that maybe they're heading for the championship. And I know we will have to have some discussions at some time about the stadium, and we will take those discussions seriously and work with the owners and with the team itself. So I think for Crawley to be put on the map like this, it's been a wonderful thing. Congratulations, Crawley Town FC, and I think that I might even buy a season ticket this year. I'm thinking seriously about doing that.
Mullins. We now move on to item 9, results of the 2024 borough election. This item is an information item. That being said, do you all agree to receive the returning officer's report on the result of the election of borough councillors held on 2nd May 2024, as set out on pages 15 to 26, in tonight's agenda and on page 3 of the supplementary agenda. Is that agreed? Okay. We now move on to the item 10. I now call for nomination for the office of Leader of the Council. Councillor Navas, I believe you are moving the nominee.
Yes, I am. Thanks, Madam Mayor. I have great pleasure in moving Councillor Johns to once again to be the leader of the council. He has led this council in difficult times, post-COVID, as we all know, and has helped move this council forward on a large number of important issues. His work on speaking out on the housing emergency and the temporary accommodation crisis has been recognised not just locally, but heard nationally as well. There have been a good number of council homes delivered, most recently at Raishama House in Southgate, as well as significant number of council and affordable homes in the pipeline over the coming few years. Approximately 800 if we include Telford Place as well. He has lobbied the government in any attempt to address the planning restriction we face over water neutrality, as well as leading the council as we set our local plan. Major infrastructure projects have been either begun or coming forward, including the Innovation Centre, the Western Boulevard and the Station Gateway. Our council tenants are steadily all being reinstated to secure tenancies rather than flexible tenancies introduced by the previous Conservative leadership. He has looked after many of the smaller things as well as the bigger things. We retain the same number of neighbourhood grass skirts, 7, which is by the largest number of per year for any district or borough in West Sussex. The play area improvements programme continues at pace, with playgrounds in Beerbush recently done, with others in Meadowlands, West Green and Ifield West and Broadfield coming soon. On top of the work done at Wakeham's Green Drive and the reopening of the Mill Pond playground last year. Under his leadership, major tree planting scheme has taken place at Tilgate Park with a strategy for further planting in place. This is not an exhaustive list, Madam Mayor, but one thing I know, Councillor Jones is always out there in the community listening and working to make Crawley a better place. The council could not be in safer hands. He has only recently delivered a budget that has given the council the ability to run its services while it prepares for the future for another year. He is the right person for the role at a crucial time in the history of the borough. I hope members here will support his reappointment here today for a renewed term of office. It's not just continuation of his service to our town, but a renewal of our collective commitment to progress and excellence. It is a recognition of the trust and confidence that the people of Crawley have in his vision and abilities, and the recent election result is a clear mandate for him. As we move forward, I'm confident that under his continued leadership, Crawley will reach even greater heights. Your dedication, Councillor Jones, your dedication inspires us all to contribute to the betterment of our community. Once again, on behalf of our Labour members over here and everybody in this room, I extend my heartfelt congratulations and look forward to the bright future we will build together. Thank you.
Councillor Yasmin Khan, I believe you are the seconder.
Yes. Hi. Yes, I totally agree with Councillor Nawaz. What he said. I don't have a speech, but this is going to be from my heart. I found Councillor Jones really helpful and dedicated, and he. You can go to him, you can approach him with any problem and he'll be there for you, and he's there for the community and he's there for the people of Crawley, and that's what matters to me, and well, that's what matters to all of us. So yes, so well done and congratulations.
Are there any further nominations? If not, I call for a vote. Is that agreed? The Councillor Jones be elected to the office of Leader of the Council, or do you wish for a formal vote? Agreed. Okay, thank you. Councillor Michael Jones has been elected as the Leader of the Council for a 4-year term of office. Congratulations. Councillor Jones, would you like to say a few words?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I'm deeply touched by some of the very kind comments that have been made just now, and I thank councillors for putting their trust in me for another 4 years. Following the recent very strong mandate and a very strong record of delivery over the past civic year, I can confirm that my cabinet members will remain the same as prior to this annual meeting, and I look forward to working with this strong team in delivering further for the people of Crawley Borough through this council. Now, I do not say this lightly, but what this cabinet has led the delivery on through their portfolios has not only been impressive, but reflects the incredible amount of work that this council achieves over and above any ordinary districts and borough councils it could be compared to. And I want to thank them for the role they've played. And naturally, I would also like to take this opportunity to thank all councillors and all of our dedicated officers and staff who deliver our services. I hereby also confirm the Cabinet portfolio responsibilities, the establishment, terms of reference and proposed membership of the working groups, and the appointments to the other Cabinet outside bodies. All of these details are set out in the report LDS 220 and within the order paper. Thank you again.
We now move to the item 11. On behalf of the Council, I'll move the report LDS/220 of the Head of Governance, People and Performance, plus the changes and proposals contained within the order paper. The report sets out how the Council's political proportionality is calculated, a list of the proposed committees to be constituted, their size and their proposed memberships, a list the outside bodies that the Council appoints to, a link to the Council's proposed constitution, a copy of the leaders' confirmed Cabinet portfolios, the working groups and proposed memberships, plus the other Cabinet outside body appointments. The report also details the proposed nomination for chairs and vice chairs for each committee. There are 2 contested nominations in respect of committee chairs, and these relate to recommendation 1, the establishment of committees as detailed in the main report and the supplementary agenda. For those contested chairs of the Audit Committee and Overview and Scrutiny Commission, I will be holding a separate individual votes. I ask that the Deputy Mayor second the recommendation.
I second the recommendation and do not wish to speak further on the item.
Before I open the floor for the members to discuss the main report, I intend to hold one vote on recommendation 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. I will set out these 5 recommendations. Recommendation 1, the establishment of committees, which includes the membership and chairs as detailed in the main report, and the supplementary agenda, and the new nomination for Chair of Governance Committee Councillor Lunnon, excluding the contested chair of the Audit Committee and Overview and Scrutiny Commission, respectively. Recommendation 2, the appointment to outside bodies where there are uncontested seats. Recommendation 3 and 4, noting the membership and terms of reference of the Cabinet-related working groups and the portfolio holders' responsibility, along with their appointments to outside bodies related to the portfolios and the other non-portfolio-related appointments. Recommendation 5, the endorsement of the latest version of the Constitution. That will be the first vote. After that, we will hold individual votes on the 2 contested positions. If any councillor objects to this approach, please indicate now. Are there any councillors wishing to speak on the report? Please indicate now. Yes. Councillor Crowe.
Loudly. Just want to clarify, obviously we are going to be speaking when we propose our nominees for the chair of the 2 committees, is that correct? Yeah, okay, thank you.
As there are no further speakers, I will now formally move all the uncontested aspects of recommendation 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Is that agreed, or do you wish for a formal vote?
Agreed.
We will now deal with the 2 contested chair positions. We will start with the chair of the Audit Committee. Councillor Irvine, please move the Labour nomination.
Thank you, Madam Mayor, and may I congratulate you, of course, on your election as Mayor. It gives me great pleasure to propose my fellow Broadfield councillor, Councillor Kieran Khan. Having worked with Councillor Khan for a number of years and having held the position of Chair of Audit Committee myself, I know that she's got all the qualities needed to do a great job. They include determination, intelligence, a sense of humour, and above all, an unswerving commitment to public service and to the people of Crawley. And with that, Madam Mayor, I move Councillor Khan.
Councillor Russell, I believe you are seconding the nomination.
Is it on? Yes, I'll be seconding the nomination. I'll just say a few words now, if I may. I think what's going to be absolutely critical with the Audit Committee is that we have someone that can listen, that can bring us together as a team. I don't doubt for a moment the skills that other members bring to the committee, but I think if we're going to work together, we've got to have someone who's going to pull us together. And I think that's Councillor Khan. Thank you.
Councillor Crowe, please move the Conservative nomination for the Chair of Audit Committee.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I formally propose Councillor Tina Belbin for Chair of the Audit Committee. And I think Councillor Khan isn't the only councillor with a good sense of humour in this chamber this evening. There are 3 reasons as to why I am proposing Councillor Belbin. I've already talked about 2 of those actually on the previous item when we talked about my proposal for Councillor Magali for Deputy Mayor. So first of all, there is the merits of the Councillor Belbin herself. So Councillor Belbin has, I think, was 2 years chair of the OSC, but certainly I have known Tina a long time and have observed her in the role. So as chair of scrutiny. So Councillor Belbin is a known quantity in terms of chairing committees. And of course, she has been a very diligent member of the Audit Committee as well, a committee that I have also previously been on. And I don't doubt at all Councillor Belbin's competence for the position of chair, and indeed as a member and as a competent member of the Audit Committee. And I do genuinely believe that Councillor Belbin would perform the role better than Councillor Khan. Indeed, I have observed Councillor Khan as a member of the Audit Committee. She hasn't been on the last year, neither was I, but we were both on it together the previous year. Then there is the fairness argument as well, in that while of course I accept that I don't quite share Councillor Jones's analysis of why people voted what way in the local elections, but of course I do accept that Labour won well, and the Conservative group has still shrunk in size, but we are still over 30% of the council, and the audit chair would be normally the first chair that would come to the opposition. And that brings me to my 3rd point, which is that of principle. Indeed, other local authorities, such as West Sussex County Council, for example, I better declare personal interest there as a member, their equivalent, the Regulation and Audits Accounts Committee, I think it is technically called, that has in its constitution is to be chaired by an opposition member, even though, of course, the opposition there are a lot smaller than what the opposition is here even now. So there are 3 good reasons as to why we should be voting for Councillor Belbin. But if I just home in on just one, I ask all members to honestly vote who they think would be the best person to chair that committee. Thank you.
Councillor Jaggard, I believe you are the seconder.
Thank you. Yes, I formally second Tina Belbin as Chair of Audit. I understand that audit is a very complex finance-based committee. It delves into the Council's financial reporting, internal controls and risk management. The Chair of Audit is a responsible role, somebody who signs off our accounts. Tina Belbin is a chartered accountant. She is used to picking over detailed financial documents. She has signed off many accounts for many corporations. She is the best, most experienced candidate for this role of Chair of Audit. So please consider her. Please consider her for the role, and I formally second Tina Belbin. Thank you.
Are there any other nominations? If not, we will go straight to the vote. Those in favour of Councillor Kiran Khan, please raise your hands. Thank you. Those in favour for Councillor Belbin, please raise your hands. Any abstention? It's me. Okay. Councillor Khan received 23 votes, Councillor Belbin received 9 and 1 abstention. Councillor Kiran Khan is elected as Chair of the Audit Committee for 2024-2025, with Councillor Belbin as Vice Chair of Audit Committee. We will now move to the election of the Chair of the Overview and Scrutiny Commission. Councillor Ashraf, please move the Labour nomination.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I recommend Councillor Marian Ayling for the role of OSC Chair. Councillor Ayling got immense experience as a councillor. She was elected as a councillor in 2008, and since then, most of the time, she has been member of OSC. And during her time as a chair since last year, she conducted the business of the committee in orderly and timely manner. The meetings were result-oriented. She made sure all the members, they are given the opportunity to speak and ask the questions. During her time as a chair, some of the things that OSC did last year, they scrutinized the community warden services and recommended an update on newly formed Community Protection Forum. OSC also scrutinized the budget and finance reports in January. The Commission asked for a detailed report on the rising cost of housing and temporary accommodation, which was discussed in March. OSC also discussed the second home council tax premium. OSC requested the scrutiny panel for waste and recycling, which she is a member of the panel. And she was on the scrutiny panel, which explored options to improve work between the council and the social landlords, which could result in a positive outcome for the residents. So I think she is the best choice for the chair role, so I recommend her. Thank you.
Councillor Pritchard, I believe you are seconding the nomination.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Yes, I'm happy to second the nomination for Councillor Ayling as Chair of Overview and Scrutiny Commission. I sat on the Commission myself just over a year ago and know the work the Commission does. I've had very positive reports from my colleague chairing the meetings over the last year, and she has a good grasp. As Chair of the Commission, you don't have to have a detailed knowledge of every aspect of the role. You have to be able to coordinate a team, and every member of that Commission has an equal say in speaking and contributing comments to the Cabinet through the Commission, and to question any people giving evidence to the Commission. I think Marian's a perfect fit for the role, and I wholeheartedly support her. So I second Marian Ayling.
Councillor Crowe, please move the Conservative nomination for the Chair of the Overview and Scrutiny Commission.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I formally propose Councillor Hazel Hellier for the role of Chair of the OSC, and maybe this might start to become an annual tradition, like it is with the Deputy Mayor for Councillor Magali. And by the way, I thank Councillor Ashraf for answering the question that I asked at the last full council meeting, where I failed to get an answer. He is just, even though it wasn't directed to him. there are, just like for the chair of audit, there are 3 reasons as to why I'm proposing Councillor Hellier. I've already talked about fairness, and we know that fairness is all well and good unless you're a Conservative. So I don't need to repeat that. Then there is the matter of principle. Again, the Centre for Public Scrutiny, although I think they've actually changed their name now, I forget what I think it's called, Good Governance or something. They always recommend that it is good practice to have an opposition chair of a scrutiny committee. And this does happen at other local authorities where there is indeed a substantial opposition minority, as indeed there is still here at Crawley Borough Council. So we know it's good practice to have an opposition chair. And thirdly, and I spoke last year about the merits of Councillor Hellier and how I felt she would be very competent in the role. And my view on that has not changed, and I still think that she would be very competent in the role if she was elected as chair of the committee. And again, like I spoke for chair of audit, I do believe that Councillor Hellier would conduct the meetings better than Councillor Ayling would. And of course, if anyone was to doubt me, all I would say is please do tune in to the OSC meetings over the year ahead that will be broadcast live on YouTube. But obviously, it looks like we're not going to get a look-in this year, but I would still call on members in this chamber to vote for the person that you can put your hand on your heart and honestly say who you feel would be conduct the role of chair in the best way over the year ahead, and actually perhaps also maybe ask some questions as chair as well. Thank you.
Councillor Jagat, I believe you are the seconder.
Thank you. Yes, I formally second Hazel Hellier as chair of OSC. OSC has oversight of all the other committees, as we've heard, and the works of this council. It offers checks and balances on actions that affect all our communities. Can this scrutiny be done effectively when the discussions are chaired by a member of the controlling group? I think not. Hazel Hellier has a wealth of experience holding large corporations to account, scrutinising, checking and offering support to large companies over many years. She is clearly very well qualified to chair the OSC. She is an approved person under the Financial Conduct Authority framework, and she would do an excellent job as a critical friend as that the chair should be. I would urge you to pick the best candidate for this role of chair of OSC, and that, in my opinion, is Hazel Hellier. Thank you.
Are there any other nominations? If not, we will go straight to the vote. Those in favour of Councillor Ayling, please raise your hands. Those in favour of Councillor Hellier, please raise your hands. Any abstention? Me. Councillor Ayling received 23 votes. Councillor Hellier received 9 votes and 1 abstention. Councillor Ayling is the elected as chair of the Overview and Scrutiny Commission for 2024-2025, with Councillor Hellier as vice chair of the commission. Thank you. That was final contested vote, and that concludes the discussion on the review of political proportionality constitution of committees and appointments to outside organization 2024-2025. There are no supplementary items of business, and that concludes the business of the annual full council meeting. Once I have formally closed this meeting, I ask that all councillors and invited guests remain in the council chamber for a few minutes. I would like to thank any other members of the public for attending and kindly request that they leave swiftly via the spiral staircase or lift. I will then welcome councillors and invite guests to join me on the mezzanine for the post-mayor making reception. I now declare this meeting closed at 8:48. Thank you.